offering you money and pulling out their passport, like literally, and then telling you, I'm American, like I'm actually looking for a girl.
Wanting me to take your last name when I'm a medical doctor is crazy.
How about in traditional jobs? Do you think it's okay if your mom is paid less than your dad?
And my mom's getting paid less than, I don't think that's fair.
When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers.
So I'm from Colombia. If you're a Colombian girl, you have 3-4 American guys approaching you.
I saw a little black guy.
You know, it's odd. Like the desperation that they exude is just weird.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, be sure to click that notification bell just to make sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. All right, guys, I got more good content for you. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Now, this video says, wanting me to take your last name when I'm a medical doctor is crazy. Guys, this is the current state we're in now, right? How masculine is that? Wanting me to take your last name when I'm a medical doctor? What? Man, I've never seen doctors say this in the past. She's obviously young, right? You can tell she spent her entire, whatever she had available, right? Savings, whatever, they spent a bunch of money to become a doctor. But now she's a doctor. The entitlement.
Here's the thing. Telling Black women the truth has a high cost. And some people think they can pay it, but you'll know the first time you tell the truth what happens, the blowback. When we talk about, I can't be feminine because I got to work too hard, then I look at these women who come into this country illegally. How come Jose can stand out in front of Home Depot and Maria can be a dishwasher, but he comes home and he gets treated like a king and they're broke? And see, here's the net of it. Okay, let's just take the argument. You're right. Black men can't provide. We're behind. We're poor leaders. Then where are the non-Black men rushing to marry you in droves?
Now, of course, you're a doctor, right? You expect to get a man that's making more than you. Now, imagine a man making more than you looking at this video, who's preparing to marry, who's saying, you know what? I want to propose to this girl and I want to marry her. And then they see this.
Not gonna happen. No, not gonna happen.
And say, wait a minute. I have a multi-million-dollar company. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Because a lot of times that guy won't pay you any mind, right? Because you're too busy for him. Yes, guys don't want women that are too busy. But to say with a multi-million-dollar company makes $2 million a year. Because there are guys that make that. Women want those dreams. They're guys that, but you're not eligible for him. He's going to look at you and see this and say, okay, she's young, she's beautiful, but do I want that headache?
Women are valuing themselves in the same way they value or evaluate men's value. And a situation occurs where a woman is not educated, she didn't go to college, and she meets this very successful man, and he actually falls for her. She questions, why me? Because to her, I don't have the value that could get this kind of man.
What does well? Like the woman that got bashed for, right? I know a lot of you guys remember the woman that was a nurse, did 2 shifts, came home, cooked for her husband because she wanted to take care of her husband. And women say, oh, how could you dare do that, girl? But a guy would rather be with that any day.
But what she doesn't understand is the value he sees in you isn't attached to those things. It's your feminine energy. It's his attractiveness to you. It's how you make him feel. It's all those other things.
She's from US too. All props to her. All props. I'm a pastor bro myself. But I say all props to women in the U.S., no matter where they are, that will do whatever they can for their man. Because that's what guys want at the end of the day, right? And Paso Bros is not just about women. It's about opportunity. So I want to let that be known as well. So, yes, I will be talking about topics like this as well, right? But this is nuts, though. Why would you do this? But anyway, guys, that's just what it is. That's why a lot of guys are done. They're done with that mind frame. They're done with that mentality. They want out.
I think women are paid less than men.
Now, this next kid right here.
Why do you think women...
Before I play it. Now, this next kid right here is a young man. But his logical skills are already up to par, right? Listen to what he says. I'm sure a couple of you may have seen this video before. I was excited when I said, man, this young kid is going places. And it's logical. It's common sense, too.
Why do you think women are paid less than men?
Depends. Let's say for football, I'm just being honest, women aren't as skilled as men are in football, so less people will watch it and less people will buy tickets, which is how footballers make their money.
Pause this. Now, that wasn't the question, right? The one I got, I seen it before. The one I got didn't have the question asked in the right way. The question was, why do male football players make more than female football players? And this is
How about in traditional jobs? Do you think it's okay if your mom is paid less than your dad?
If my mom is a higher level than my dad and they're getting paid and my mom is getting paid less, then I don't think that's fair because my mom's a higher level and she's doing more for the business or job they're doing. So yeah.
Man, it's wild that this young boy figured it out, but it's hard for women and these women movements to figure it out, right? It boggles your mind. Think about it. This young boy has more common sense than grown adults who sit there and fight and combat men all the time with these nonsensical arguments that really make no sense.
Problem with closed-minded people that their mouth is always open.
It's common sense. Male football is more skilled. The other day, I seen on TikTok, right, a retired male football man. I even seen male football players that weren't professionals who beat professional women. But the retired male football players beat the professional team playing now 12-zip. Why is that? I'm not saying it's to bash women. It's just common sense. All right, guys, on to the next video.
A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in and having to leave him there. And he was in bad shape. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. You didn't have to marry me to do time, right? I'm here.
I see why we love you.
And then like he needed a rock. He needed, because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation, you know, because I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail. He would have.
Right.
I'll be real with it.
Right. Because so many people in that position don't have support.
Right.
None at all.
None. You know?
And he got the best.
Right. He was just like, look. And I just think it was the mind state that he was in, you know?
Let me stop that right there, right? Break down the situation. Now, I don't know for sure, but I know this. Tupac with Jada Pinkett was in the friend zone. That same friend zone he spoke about when he said, you know, the girls say I want a masculine man. He was with her in that school in Baltimore, and Tupac was a little bit soft back then. He wasn't gay, he was soft. And she had him in the friend zone.
And I'm tired of her always talking about Tupac with it. Did Tupac with her? I'm tired of that story. It never went down. Oh, Tupac. I know Tupac. Tupac wouldn't have been with you.
Right? And he still was himself around her. So even though, and what's the name talked about it before? Michael J. White, right? Tupac was a Shakespearean dude when she met him, right? Actor, great actor, by the way. He really was a thug. He turned himself into one. But he became that way to create a bigger facade. He turned himself into a pookie because that's what women wanted. And then she uses him to make give herself some relevance. Anyway, on to the next video.
So I'm from Colombia. If you're a Colombian girl, you have 3-4 American guys approaching you, offering you money, and pulling out their passport, like literally, and then telling you, I'm American, like I'm actually looking for a girl, like I'll bring you here. But it's just odd, like why you wanna get with a girl that doesn't speak your language? It's up to $200 a month. You know, it's just odd. Like I don't wanna point fingers. Like why are you looking for that when you can get a girl? Why can't you not get in America? You know, why not get a girl?
Is this black guys or white guys?
I saw a lot of black guys.
I saw a lot of black guys.
You know, it's odd. Like the direction that they exude is just weird.
You see how she's just trying to play? She's just feeding into it, right? Let me tell you something. Now, if you're a guy out there flashing your passport to get women, that's a sucker move. It's a sucker move. But you see how she said, look at these guys. The woman make $200. A guy with sense is not going thinking, I want to get a woman that's poor making $200. He's thinking, I want to. Now, these are guys that a lot of times, how you made it seem, that are looking for a wife, right? You made it seem like they were desperate guys. So I'll play into that, right? So these desperate guys that are down there, what do you think they're going through in the US? Some of these guys can be the same guys that I broke down in the video yesterday that probably stoop down and crawl on their foot to be tricks and simps for women who said, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore. I want love. I don't shame those men because those guys leaving too. I will not sit here and put those men down. How dare you? Right now, you're on that show on Daily Wrap-Up Crew. You're in New York. So you probably lying, right? You're probably lying. I don't know. It comes across like you're lying a little bit. Number one, you're down there in Colombia. You look like you're about 20 years old. So you were down there on the strip and now you're in New York. How did you get to New York?
He's cooking on garbage.
Your parents from New York? So you were down there on the strip in Colombia and you seen that. Come on now. Really? But anyway, I'll give you that. So say that is the case. So what? Why are you putting these guys down? That's what the same thing that the women are doing. This woman is not the one that guys are looking for anyway.
Emotional damage.
She's a chameleon. So what guys bumped into, if she's seen that, if that is the case, she's a chameleon. Guys weren't looking for you. And guys, be careful out there. Because they got chameleons out there too who think just like this woman, right? Don't get me wrong. There's other women out there. There's guys that have successful Colombianas all the time who are not like this one. Facts. So how dare you try to make it seem like this isn't the way when it is? Now, number one, a guy shouldn't be out there waving his passport. I've seen it before. I've seen it on a TikTok video. A guy said, oh, you should show your passport. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Have a way to yourself, right? Go down there, engage in conversation. There's a lot of guys out there speaking a language in Colombia, speaking Spanish. That's what I see, right? I see guys out there learning a language and trying to conversate in Spanish. So what she said was way off. That's mostly what I see. But anyway, guys, it's fine. We'll take it. We'll take our name being stepped on, our name being thrown in the dirt, us being mistreated. Because anyway, that's what happens in America.
Making progress.
So it can happen overseas. We're fine with it. Because you know why? We know it's more to life than dealing with women back home. And it's also more to life than dealing with women like you, even overseas.
This is the way.
Your passport, bro. Passport. No. Forget your passports. You know why? Because this is the way.
Oh, absolutely.